and white supremacy ideologies.
You might not want to watch the whole thing.
They are scared of the people. They're scared of all of us uniting and shutting this country down. They are scared of that. And that is why Kristi Noem stood in Texas at our southern border touting propaganda lies. Because they're scared of us coming together.
I'm just going to make one big video, which is this one.
Hi everyone, Karen Ortiz here, former judge, current federal whistleblower, and I'm hopping on to just let everyone know that you have Second Amendment rights. And with ICE acting with impunity, it's time to have a serious conversation.
But yeah, so it's going to be an extra long video, so I recommend you grab your kids, grab your popcorn, grab a bowl.
About your Second Amendment rights. Now, there is something called the Castle Doctrine, and it varies from state to state, but it pretty much lays out whether a gun owner can take certain actions in certain situations, meaning what level of action you can take to defend your home or business. Now, I will leave a link with some information from state to state from an organization. Is a little more right-leaning organization, but the basic information is good, and it's a starting point. It's only a starting point. You should look into the individual laws in your state about how far the Castle Doctrine will protect you if you need to defend your home or your business in case of an ICE attack. So I'll leave a link, and do your due diligence. Again, this isn't legal advice. I'm just pointing you towards some resources, and we're going to get through all of this together. We just have to stay informed, take care of our neighbors, and keep fighting.
They were pretty sharp too. Sharper than the Kami Koto bullshit.
So last night at the ice field, AUKUS, things got a little out of hand. I wasn't on the gate. I'm walking Bradley.
About Japanese steel. It's Chinese.
So
That is Japanese.
I wasn't at the side where they got crazy.
Price point. It's like
You're probably going to see some videos circulating right now. I was on the other side where the vans come in. That would be the north side. A couple of us stayed over there. And there's going to be videos circulating, actually, because the black ICE director, remember my best friend that I love to yell at? Last night I had a bullhorn. I had it on his ear. Then he dropped his gun. It fell out of his holster, and it broke in two pieces. I don't know anything about guns, but I think like the clip separated from the trigger thing. But anyways, I didn't know what it was. I thought it was his phone. I mean, I had the bullhorn right in my face, so I couldn't really see it. So if you see videos of the other side, the south gate, of course, ICE picks little ladies to body slam. You've seen the kind of guys that they're hiring, right? They're either like 18 and 90 pounds, or they're like my age-ish and like 400 pounds. And my height. There was plenty of big, tall, strong men, okay? Two of which are in my group, like tall, strong men. No, they don't pick them to body slam. They pick the little tiny ladies. Like, that's what we're working with. Does that sound tough to you? Bradley, does that sound tough to you? I don't know, did you see him? There we go. Yeah, that's what we're dealing with. That's what they're hiring. And they prefer to body slam little tiny ladies. It's like, hey, why didn't you get those big, tall, strong guys? Like, wow. So, yeah, that was my night last night. Say bye to Bradley. I might put the clip in. I only got a little clip, so.
Well, I just got home from my weekly visit with my wife. It's week 10. She was pretty down today. I rarely see her cry. She cried today when I got there. Hurts my heart. She's there for no reason. We were doing everything right, following the rules. Didn't matter. I talked to so many people that are there visiting their loved ones. Same situation, detained during their interviews, detained when they go to see their immigration hearing person. Very few have been caught doing a crime or convicted of a crime. I have yet to meet a criminal. Just random people trying to do the right thing. They're the easy ones to get. It's disgusting. I just don't understand why we have rules in place if they're not going to follow them. This will be our third hearing. I'm sure it won't be any better. They deny everything. They don't look at the evidence. They should grant us a bond. That would be the appropriate thing to do, the legal thing to do. But under these rules and the Trump administration, they are told to deport only. So people like my wife who have status, who are following the rules, they can't just deport them. They have to volunteer. And my wife's being stubborn about it. She wants to fight it till the end, which I don't blame her. I mean, there's always hope. It's very small, but there's always hope. Hopefully they'll get tired of us and let her go. Let release her on bond so we can follow the court proceedings like we're supposed to. They kind of get you in a catch-22. It's unbelievable. I just don't understand it. Anyway, we got another court hearing coming up. It'll probably get delayed. That's the common tactic. Make them want to leave. Hopefully they don't move her. That's what I worry about the most. Anyway, that's week 10. I'll drive down next week. Or if we do have a hearing on Wednesday, I just don't see it happening. But if we do, I'll make another post about it. Otherwise, I'll leave again on Saturday, drive the 8.5 hours to see my wife for 1 hour, and drive home. And maybe at some point we'll get some sort of justice. If all else fails, I guess she will have to voluntarily deport. That seems to be the best next option if we fail at everything else. We can file an appeal, and we can file a habeas corpus case in federal court. We'll have to think about it. Keep us in your prayers. Thank you.
I am not doing anything wrong. I am not doing anything wrong. Anything wrong? What street? I am here on Gage. They stopped me here on Gage. I'm here on Gage.
Sorry to make you guys do this. All right, no worries. All right, thanks, sir. Thank you.
Yeah, as you guys can see, there was no warning. There was no warning.
This is your warning, right?
Okay, well, this is my first warning.
follow.
First
You
warning.
out.
I'm not scared of you. What the fuck you gonna do to me? What the fuck? Get the fuck away. Go back home. Leave the community alone. You're fucking money hungry, huh? That's what you fucking are. Money hungry. Fucking money hungry. That's what the fuck you guys are. Money hungry. You guys are fucking money hungry. Put that shit down. Hold on. Can I get? Give me your badge number. Look, see? Puto. Fuck you. Puto, man.
Ladies and gentlemen, we got breaking news. The man that was pinned, shot, unalived by federal ICE agents. His name is Alex Jeffrey Preedy. 37-year-old male, Alex Jeffrey Preedy of South Minneapolis. If you don't know, lost his life today in the early hours this morning in Minneapolis, Minnesota, today, January 24th. It is now 3:35 on the East Coast, and there is an enormous crowd screaming, protesting against ICE because of this man who lost his life today. During the live, I broke down the video of 4 different angles. Click the link in the bio. It's going to show you. I'm live now. Give me your opinion on this. Tell me what you think. May he rest in peace. And I am so sorry that this happened.
But be careful.
Okay, I just saw a full, military truck.
Okay, get all of that. It's probably the National Guard. Take video and photos.
We got a lot more people coming out now.
It's gonna get. Hey Spency, stay the weekend.
Yeah.
Stay tonight. Stay.
I'm definitely thinking about
staying. Do you
staying
have any medication that you need?
I grabbed my medication, so I will be good. Yeah, we got. I think the group. Sorry, I looked away. The group from. Okay, what's the other street that they're protesting on at that corner?
Lake.
Yeah, they went from Lake and are coming through to this side because there's now a group of, I don't know, 30, 40 people coming through.
My hands
They're-
are shaking. I am inside. They'll let me send you the rest in the original video. I can probably get the time stamp on these as well. These are direct from my camera. The first one is probably around 9:50 a.m.
I think what we heard was the gas, because I see people flushing out others' eyes.
Okay. Keep taking video. Are you taking video?
I'm taking a video right now.
Okay.
Do we want to go and offer them to warm up because of
Where
water
are
in their
they?
face? They're just right outside on the other side of the fence,
They're on the other side
like
of the fence.
right on the other side of the fence on that sidewalk. They're just flushing each other's eyes out with water. We want to open the door and ask if they want to come and warm up.
Let me.
Nobody wants your fucking tiny dick energy here,
I
bitch.
thought you were supposed to like America. We'll block you on Grindr. We will find you on Grindr and block you. We don't want you there. We're better than you.
Look at you! How do you live with yourself? Walk away! Walk up short, you son of a bitch! Short motherfuckers! Get the fuck out of here! That's right! Get out of here!
Have you seen the video yet? You got the phone right there? You're on the wrong side. Fucking put your phone on the video. Oh, they had 8 guys holding him to the ground and unloaded 10 fucking shots into him, dude.
Oh my god, y'all. What the fuck was that? Somebody just got shot by ICE. Someone just got shot by ICE.
Watch the video. I know you haven't seen it, because if you have, you'd be over here. If you fucking seen it, you'd be over here. Watch it. Watch it. Watch it. Peace, man. Quit it. You're on the wrong side. Ice coming through. Yeah, we got it. We got it. Let's go. Ask the nice with 10 fucking bullets in the concrete. 10 fucking bullets in the concrete. You're asking us nicely? 10 fucking bullets. Ask me 10 times and I'll move.
Get the fuck out of Minnesota! Fuck all of you! The fuck out of Minnesota. We don't want you here. Get the fuck out. Fuck ICE. 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 They're shaking their fucking little cans at us. Oh, you pussy! Fucking pussy! Fuck you, pussy!
Ain't nobody wants that dick. How's it feel to like worship? How's it feel to work with a man? You're ashamed to everyone you know.
Fucking losers, man.
Your high school reunion is gonna suck, motherfucker!
I saw terrorists!
ICE are terrorists! ICE are terrorists! ICE are terrorists! ICE are terrorists! ICE are terrorists! ICE are terrorists! ICE are terrorists!
Can't wait to see you in prison. They're gonna have fun with you.
You came to the wrong place, bitch. We know how to deal with ICE.
Exactly.
Fucking wrong state to come to, motherfuckers.
Minnesota destroys ICE on the daily. Great. All I'm saying is, you talk to them, but I'm not trying to. I'm just saying.
Patients often ask me,
if you do not have the right to protest without being executed, murdered, or put gravely in danger and bodily harm, you do not live in a free country. A second person, protester, protector, has been executed by ICE agents this morning. Congress has forfeited their duty and has forfeited their power to the Trump regime, the Trump branch, the Trump administration. They all have blood on their hands. Because if you do not have the right to protest without being in grave danger, you do not live in a free country any longer. As someone who has chronic illness, I am scared to go protest. I have to get far away from the action per se, because if I was tackled, that'd be it for me. I have musculoskeletal issues. I'm in pain every day. That'd be it. So people are putting their life and their body on the line right now. And a second person has been executed for helping someone up after they were pepper sprayed. If you do not have the right to protest without being executed, murdered, or in grave danger of bodily harm, you do not live in a free country any longer.
So check it out, my people. Listen up. We need to talk. I have some news, but we need to speak in code, so hopefully y'all understand me. I know it's been getting kind of cold in Arizona, and it's only getting colder and colder. More cold seems to be coming. And I just got word that a lot of this cold is catching up to Uber drivers, Lyft drivers, the Door Dashers, the people that deliver your groceries. Not even they're safe now. Apparently a lot of them are getting picked up. I don't know, I think they're using that GPS or that tracking system everybody was talking about, and they're grabbing people even from Lyft, Uber, grocery getters, everything. Not even those people are safe now doing that. This is crazy. And they're all over the place right now. Phoenix, Mesa, Gilbert. Somebody just told me they were in Maryville yesterday. So it's getting crazy out here. Stay safe. Hopefully you guys understood me. I'll keep you updated. God bless.
The moment protesters were pushed back by federal agents throwing tear gas and training guns on the assembled crowd. It happened just after reports of a 37-year-old man being shot nearby. The US Department of Homeland Security claim it was a targeted operation on an armed suspect who they say was an illegal alien, and they've released this photo of a gun. But without any evidence of how the altercation happened or whether the man was pointing the weapon at the officers, it isn't possible to verify whether he posed a lethal threat. In the last half hour, Minnesotan police and state officials have confirmed a white male US citizen has died.
Our demand today is for those federal agencies that are operating in our city to do so with the same discipline, humanity, and integrity that effective law enforcement in this country demands.
How many more residents, how many more Americans need to die or get badly hurt for this operation to end? How many more lives need to be lost before this administration realizes that a political and partisan narrative is not as important as American values?
Thousands of protesters have turned out in the bitter cold across Minnesota in the past weeks. They're opposed to the crackdown ordered by President Trump, which has seen thousands of immigration and customs enforcement officers sent to the Midwestern state. The White House says it's part of a public safety operation they've named Metro Surge, aimed at deporting criminals who are in the country illegally. But local anger over the presence of ICE is growing by the day.
This is first not how we treat our neighbors. The inhumanity of this Trump administration is just beyond the pale.
Standing back and not doing anything doesn't help with, the situation. No!
Tensions have been rising since the killing of Renee Good, a 37-year-old mother and US citizen, during an anti-ICE demonstration in the city earlier this month. On Tuesday, 5-year-old Liam Ramos was seized by ICE officers and is now believed to be more than 1,000 miles away in detention in Texas with his father. He's one of at least 4 children taken in this way in the last few days.
This is our community! Go make your community better! Go home! Go home!
Fury at the actions of ICE and the treatment at the hands of federal officers of those protesting in the streets is today pouring over into abject unrest. The Minnesotan governor, Tim Walz, says he's demanding President Trump acts now to pull out what he calls thousands of violent, untrained officers from the state.
And they keep pushing people, Oh shit! What the fuck? They killed him? Did they fucking kill that guy? Are you fucking kidding me, dude? Not again! Are you fucking kidding me? That guy's dead.
I want to go over the real reason that ICE is kidnapping people, and it is not immigration.
And they keep pushing people, Oh shit! What the fuck? They killed him? Did they fucking kill that guy? Are you fucking kidding me, dude? Not again! Are you fucking kidding me? That guy's dead.
I want to go over the real reason that ICE is kidnapping people, and it is not immigration. But I do want to warn you that this is incredibly dark. This is not my opinion. These are verifiable facts. But once you see this laid out, you will not be able to unsee it. And again, it is very dark. Like, I felt so physically ill once I tied these things together that I had to sit for a while before I could even film this. What MAGA is calling border security, it isn't about safety or crime at all. It's about keeping a permanent underclass of brown labor without any rights. I think that the people that are working for ICE and MAGA, they think that we're getting rid of the immigrants. But what's actually happening is so much darker than that. We are enslaving them and cycling them through a system designed to keep them voiceless, rightless, and disposable, while guaranteeing that America stays white indefinitely. Right, like usual, we have to go back before we end up at present day. Back in 2021, federal agents busted something called Operation Blooming Onion in Georgia. It was one of the largest human trafficking operations in U.S. history. Dozens of farm workers, mostly from Mexico and Central America, were held at gunpoint, raped, forced to dig onions with their bare hands for 20 cents a bucket, locked in trailers and surrounded by electric fences. And this wasn't a one-time thing. This is a huge part of agribusiness, the treatment of these kinds of workers. And in case you're wondering, I ended up tying these things together because I couldn't understand. I could never figure out why the farmers voted for Trump. And then I found this. Back in 2024, there was something called the Farm Workers Protection Rule, which was a set of rules put in place by the Biden administration to protect these H-2A workers. It was meant to protect these workers from things like being locked in trailers, not fed properly, not paid properly, not access to proper health care, basically slavery. And of course, the moment that Trump came back into office, he rolled all of those protections back. And his administration quietly dismantled the farm worker protection rules. They also reversed the minimum wage formula, which meant that those workers were now going to be paid several dollars less per hour. I'm going to tie the ICE raids into it. Just stay with me. And that right there is why agribusiness farmers backed Trump. Because under Trump, immigration reform doesn't mean fewer workers. It means cheaper ones, disposable ones, a perfect captive labor force. Now on to the ICE raids. So here's how the system works now. ICE raids ramp up. Mass detentions of undocumented workers. And the ones rounded up are being sent to for-profit detention centers. And by, of course, CoreCivic and GEO Group, who also happen to be two of Trump's largest donors. And while locked inside for crimes not committed, are forced to cook, clean, and run the facilities that they are being held captive at. And most of them are working for less than $1 a day. No criminal conviction, no due process, just pure profit for CoreCivic and GEO Group. Also happens to be a direct violation of the 13th Amendment, which only allows forced labor inside of prisons for people who have been convicted of crimes. Mind you that these people are being kidnapped, not given due process, and have not been convicted of anything. And they're being forced to work under the threat of indefinite detention or deportation. That is not immigration enforcement. That is human trafficking. So all these people that we see go into these detention centers and they go missing, funded by our tax dollars and laundered through the language of law and order. And eventually, after they're processed and deported, those workers are replaced by a whole new batch of H-2A workers, the program that Trump rolled back all the restrictions on, which has exploded to record high of 370,000 visas issued this year under the Trump administration. And these new workers, unlike immigrants who can leave if they feel that they're not being treated fairly, these new workers coming in on this H-2A program, they can't report abuse, their passports are seized, they live in filthy conditions and can be deported immediately if they were to speak out to anybody like the press. It's legal servitude. And thanks to Trump's rollback of wages and safety precautions, farmers are now incentivized to use more and more H-2A labor, which pretty much guarantees that these farmers will never have to hire or pay a laborer what they're worth ever again. So now when we're asking ourselves, why did these farmers back Trump? There's your answer. He didn't just promise them border security. He handed them state-sponsored slave labor with full and absolute legal cover. Guys, this is exactly what eugenics looks like in the 21st century. Not sterilization clinics or immigration quotas, it's economic control. A system that decides who gets to live freely and who gets to labor for life. To tie it all together, that means that people who are walking down the street get racially profiled for being brown, and they get kidnapped, then detained in a for-profit prison center, and the more people that they're able to grab, the bigger the government contract that Trump gives to his buddies' private prisons. Then, after keeping them, mind you, they're getting paid about $150 per day from the federal government, our tax dollars, for each person they detain. They're only paying the detainees $1 a day for forced labor, which is against the 13th Amendment because they haven't been convicted of anything. And then after a few weeks to a few months of that terrible treatment, they're deported, only to be brought back in through the H-2A program so that they are basically held hostage by U.S. farmers. And let me not miss the forest for the trees here. People that are coming here as hostages to work in forced labor camps, they're not settling in America. They're not having families. They're not having babies, aka they're not increasing their population numbers inside of the United States. This isn't even about immigration anymore. We are now in the business of state-sponsored human trafficking.
Stay with me. I'm going to read you portions of the case against Donald J. Trump and Jeffrey Epstein filed by Jane Doe in the United States District Court, Southern District of New York. It is case 1-:/1-CV-07673-RA. I'm starting on page 4, paragraph 9. The plaintiff was enticed by promises of money and modeling career to attend a series of parties with other similarly minor females held at New York City residence that was being used by defendant Jeffrey Epstein. At least 4 of the parties were attended by defendant Trump. Please see exhibits A and B. So there were exhibits, in other words, pictures or something proving that he was there. On information and belief, by this time in 1984, defendant Trump had known defendant Epstein for 7 years. Quote, "I've known Jeff for 15 years. Terrific guy," unquote. Trump booms from a speakerphone. Quote, "He's a lot of fun to be with. It is even said that he likes beautiful women as much as I do, and many of them are on the younger side. No doubt about it, Jeffrey enjoys his social life," unquote. And knew that plaintiff was then just 13 years old. Exhibits A and B, probably pictures. Paragraph 10. Defendant Trump initiated S contact with plaintiff at 4 different parties. On the 4th and final SEX encounter with defendant Trump tied plaintiff to a BED, exposed himself to the plaintiff, and then proceeded to forcibly grape the plaintiff. During the course of this SAVAGE SEXUAL attack, plaintiff loudly pleaded with the defendant Trump to stop, but with no effect. Defendant Trump responded to the plaintiff's pleas by striking in the face with his open hand and screaming that he would do whatever he wanted. Exhibits A and B. Paragraph 11. Immediately following this, GRAPE, defendant Trump, THREATENED, the plaintiff, that if she were to ever reveal any of the details of the SA and physical A of her by defendant Trump, that the plaintiff and her family would be physically harmed, if not KILLED.
I just saw a video of more than 6 masked agents pummeling one of our constituents and shooting him to death. How many more residents, how many more Americans need to die or get badly hurt for this operation to end? How many more lives need to be lost before this administration realizes that a political and partisan narrative is not as important as American values? How many times must local and national leaders must plead with you, Donald Trump, to end this operation and recognize that this is not creating safety in our city? As you'll hear from Director Sayer in just a second, we have seen these kinds of operations in other places, in other countries, but not here in America. Not in a way where a great American city is being invaded by its own federal government. I'm done being told that our community members are responsible for the vitriol in our streets. I'm done being told that our local elected officials are solely responsible for turning down the temperature. Just yesterday, we saw 15,000 people peacefully protesting in the streets, speaking out, standing up for their neighbors. Not a single broken window, not a single injury. Those peaceful protests embody the very principles that both Minneapolis and America was founded upon. Conversely, the mass militarized force and unidentified agents who are occupying our streets, that is what weakens our country. That is what erodes trust in both law enforcement and in democracy itself. So to everyone listening, stand with Minneapolis. Stand up for America. Recognize that your children will ask you what side you were on. Your grandchildren will ask you what you did to act to prevent this from happening again. To make sure that the foundational elements of our democracy were rock solid. What did you do to protect your city? What did you do to protect your nation? This is not what America is about. This is not a partisan issue. This is an American issue. This administration and everyone involved in this operation should be reflecting. They should be reflecting right now and asking themselves, what exactly are you accomplishing? If the goal was to achieve peace and safety, this is doing exactly the opposite. If the goal was to achieve calm and prosperity, this is doing exactly the opposite. Are you standing up for American families right now? Or are we tearing them apart? The invasion of these heavily armed masked agents roaming around on our streets of Minneapolis, emboldened with a sense of impunity, it has to end. This is not how it has to be.
So I just watched a video of like 8 or 9 ICE agents first beating the crap out of a guy and then murdering him in cold blood. This guy was laying flat on the ground, dead, and they were still shooting him. This guy looked like he could have been my brother. ICE was founded in 2003. There is no reason for them to exist in 2026. Like zero reason. The people that work for ICE at this point are like war criminals. Everybody that I saw in today's video of them murdering that guy in Minnesota should be prosecuted to the fullest extent of the law and then physically beaten before we impose that punishment. There's no justification for it at all. There's no justification to continue funding ICE whatsoever. You are more likely to be murdered in cold blood by an ICE agent than you are an undocumented immigrant in your entire life. Abolish ICE now.
There is a graphic video that is circulating online. I just want to warn you, first of all, this is a still shot of some of the video. We have 7 agents, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 agents. And the blue circle represents the individual that's crouched over on their knees. 7 against 1. 2 of these agents are participating in holding them down, while a 3rd agent pistol whips him. This agent gets up after a pop sound goes off. This is the agent, one of the agents that was holding him down. He appears to be walking away after the first pop. He looks behind as another pop happens from one of the other guys here. And finally, this is the guy that finishes them off. Is the last shooter for the video end. Somebody needs to find this woman. Originally, I thought she was videotaping, but upon further observation, it appears that she's just bearing witness. She's going to need some therapy after this. Please, somebody protect this woman at all costs. She's a witness to this. So yeah, I guess this is America now. Gang violence everywhere. And anyone is at risk.
Here we go again.
Officers threw flashbangs and tear gas in my car and made I got 6 kids in the car. But my 6-month-old can't even breathe.
What you just saw is a video of a father of 6 in Minneapolis, Minnesota, describing how last night ICE and Border Patrol threw tear gas, flashbangs, and likely pocket OC spray into his vehicle or underneath his vehicle, causing it to fill up with tear gas and other chemical munitions. And I'm not being hyperbolic when I say that this action by Border Patrol and ICE could have very easily led to a 6-month-old child losing their life. For the past few months, I've been working on a long-form piece about exactly this, chemical munition exposure and what health risks it poses to people.
I'm here representing more than 1,000 pediatricians across our state who are committed to improving the health and well-being of children all across Minnesota. We are here for the kids. As a pediatrician working in the heart of downtown Minneapolis, and as a mom whose 10-year-old co-wrote this statement with me, I can attest firsthand that ICE enforcement in our communities is directly harming my patients and our kids. And to other parents watching these atrocities unfold in front of them in their communities, we should all be very, very concerned. And here's 3 reasons why. First, exposure to violence and the threat of family separation causes trauma for kids. When ICE enforcement occurs in or near places where children should be safe, like homes, like schools, like hospitals, and we know they're in hospitals, right? Children experience fear that disrupts their sense of stability. We've seen kids face down in handcuffs in front of their public schools. Teens have been ripped from their homes without coats in sub-zero weather and without their parents present, let's just be real. Parents have been detained while waiting for the bus with their kids. Family separation is not a temporary disruption. It is a traumatic event with lifelong consequences. And for Renee Good's children, I know other parents are thinking about them. They deserve better too. We need ICE out of our communities. Second reason why. Children and families are avoiding potentially life-saving medical care because they are terrified to leave their homes. When ICE agents are in and around our hospitals, which again, we know that they are, including my own, parents are rightfully scared to come in. I've seen babies miss their jaundice follow-ups or straight up say, hey, I refuse to come back in. I really don't feel safe here. We've seen moms that have called and said, my baby's having trouble breathing. I don't know if I should come in. Unacceptable. And we've seen a burst appendix that could have been detected days earlier had somebody not been afraid to come in. Across our state, kids are missing their routine checkups. They're delaying care. They're not seeking help. And they're weighing this fear of putting their family at risk against the health of their child. This is an impossible decision that no parent should ever be in. Healthcare settings need to be safe, healing spaces, and we need ICE out of healthcare. Third and finally, when ICE is perpetrating violence in communities, kids get caught in the crossfire. Consider Destiny Jackson and her 6 kids. They were coming home from a basketball game. They were in their car. They were not a part of a protest. And they found themselves in a car full of tear gas with airbags deployed. Destiny could have been any one of us as she administered CPR to her infant child. And when their parent asked for help, There was a delay in getting emergency medical care. Again, we see a theme. This is unacceptable. Chemical weapons have no place in our neighborhoods or in our schools. They can have life-threatening and long-term effects on children. It's only a matter of time before a Minnesota child dies as a result of this recklessness. We need ICE out of our state. To close, I have a message for Minnesota parents. Your pediatricians and all of us are doing every single thing that we can to mobilize. We're working to get kids life-saving care in their homes and in their communities. Your pediatricians are still here, and we're all in this together. I'm going to try this in Spanish. Estamos aquí para ustedes. Llámenos y trabajaremos juntos para conseguir la atención médica que necesitan, ya sea en su comunidad o en su casa. If I could say it in Somali, I would do that too. Nosotros, los pediatras, los médicos, estamos en la lucha. We are in the fight. We demand that ICE stop tactics of terror and leave our state. Our patients, our children deserve to be safe, to be healthy, and to grow up free from fear. And to our leaders, protecting kids is not a political act. It is a moral responsibility we all share.
So this is to my MAGA friends.
I heard ICE offed another U.S. citizen, execution style. All this is, they're hell-bent on igniting a civil war. Why? Is because they know they would lose the midterms. And they can't afford that. So the question that's being asked to the citizens of Minnesota, do you submit to fear or don't you?
My man's at the barber shop getting a haircut.
Oh my God. Oh my God. He dead, y'all. Maybe not. Yo. Oh my God. Oh my God.
Do not move. Let me see them hands. Let me see them hands. Keep breathing, man. Keep breathing. Keep breathing. Hold that driver. Hey, keep breathing. You gotta feel. Keep breathing.
Oh my God.
Today is Saturday, January 24th. And
Good morning to my Antifa and my rebel.
So here we have Border Patrol Greg stating that an agent fired defensive shots while attempting to disarm an individual who was violently resisting. Okay, Well, yeah, I bet he was violently resisting because he was being detained as a U.S. citizen, ICU nurse, who was Caucasian, simply targeted because he was filming their antics. So yeah, I mean, who wouldn't resist that? You weren't doing anything illegal. Now, I've watched the video multiple times from multiple angles of the individual being shot, attacked, beaten. This was murder. Then we go on to hear Greg say, right up here, the suspect also had 2 magazines and no ID. This looks like a situation where an individual wanted to do maximum damage and mass secure law enforcement. It's quite the claim, considering he had a legal right to carry. And in the state of Minnesota, there is no law on how many clips you can have, how many bullets you can have with you, if you have the legal right to carry. So this man did not break the law, and yet he was shot and murdered. Where does it stop? What are they waiting for? Why is no one doing anything in our government? Not to be a conspiracist, but you would almost think that they're trying to create an uprising.
Apologies for how I look. It's 10 a.m. on January 24th. At about 9:30 this morning, ICE shot a peaceful observer after wrestling him to the ground. Video is already online, so you will probably have seen that. The person was transported to HCMC, and as of this moment, I don't know what their status is, but I would presume dead, having taken 5 shots. I responded very quickly, as I live right down the street, and ICE had cordoned off the entire area of 26th and Nicollet in South Minneapolis, right outside of Glamdahl Donuts. This morning, ICE were staging in the Black Forest Inn and Glamdahl parking lot. Observers were called to respond and observe and alert the area to ICE. I do not know what happened that they wrestled the observer to the ground, but he was unarmed and he was already on the ground and restrained when they shot him. So we know those are the facts on the ground right now. When I responded, I got up and they had just deployed tear gas. They had tear gassed Jana Shorthall, a local press person, local newscaster, very popular here with Care 11. She was being treated at the scene and moved into an apartment nearby. And ICE were creating a perimeter that they were slowly expanding around. I did not see, MPD was on the scene, but they appeared to be not doing much. They were blocking off streets. They were not doing anything they didn't appear to my eyes to be doing anything to investigate. So that is the status on the ground right now as of just after 10 a.m. I just got back in.
Oh no, my baby, come. I want to talk to you. I have to tell you something. Get excited, my baby. We are going to the United States of America for the dream. The dream, you know, that's why we go, for the dream. It is the best country in the world, with the best leader in the world. But do you know that right now, as we speak, white American citizens are being executed in the streets by a modern day lynch mob in broad daylight with the full immunity and approval of the administration. It is true. It is true. It is a bad time to be 37 in Minneapolis. Good God. Good God on today. We are going to call a thing a thing. It was literally an open book test. Failed miserably. Shame. Shame.
Hey guys, Chief Lexus here with Internal Services. I just came into the office on an urgent notification. I'm here at headquarters, and I just need to tell you guys what is going on. This is a very urgent notification that we received directly from one of our intelligence facilities in Miami. One of our intelligence specialists, and I'm not going to say their name because for the record I want to make sure that their life is not in danger, but they have sent us clarity on what is currently happening right now at the Chromes facility in Miami. This detention center has been converted from what has been a detention center for more than no more than 500 subjects that were supposed to be in this facility, and now is currently at its state, it has 4,000 detainees. This facility has been currently overgrounded. It's extremely overhauled. There's not enough food to go around to feed the mouths of the people that are currently being detained there. In fact, we have now verified reports that only 1 cup of water is issued per 24 hours because there's not enough to go around. 3 subjects have died from being in that facility, leading to the mishandling and abuse from ICE agents in the facility. Local law enforcement in Miami have not been updated on those 3 subjects, and we have no knowledge to who those subjects are because they are claiming that those subjects don't have any IDs. At this time, Internal Services has sent out devices to our officers and to our intelligence specialists to verify more information. We are being denied access. We are being denied access into that facility. We were successful in getting some footage, which I'm sure some...
Well, just like I said, it looks like the cover-up has already started. Today, a man was eliminated in the streets of Minnesota at the hands of Border Patrol. And before the investigation has even started, Greg Bovino has gone on the record and made some pretty interesting allegations about the person that was eliminated. Tell me if you believe what he's saying.
The operation in Minneapolis against an illegal alien, Jose Huerta Chuma. You can see this illegal alien on the screen to my left and right. That is Jose Huerta Chuma, whose criminal history includes domestic assault to intentionally inflict bodily harm, disorderly conduct, and driving without a valid license. During this operation, an individual approached U.S. Border Patrol agents with a 9mm semi-automatic handgun. The agents attempted to disarm the individual, but he violently resisted. Fearing for his life and the lives and safety of fellow officers, a Border Patrol agent fired defensive shots.
Now, first of all, I don't buy any of this. DHS has a terrible track record when it comes to being honest, and they're throwing the state and local agencies under the bus right away. It's too early for an investigation to have already been done. It's just amazing that they've already jumped to these crazy conclusions.
The suspect had a gun and magazines full of ammunition. In what looks like a situation, again, where an individual wanted to do maximum damage and massacre law enforcement.
Wow. To me, that sounds like they are already jumping to a bunch of conclusions. I don't buy it.
The men and women of CBP and ICE, law enforcement, are highly trained professionals who love this country and do this work.
And so, ladies and gentlemen, there you have it. They are saying that those Border Patrol agents are trained in urban policing, which is clearly not true. Because first of all, if you really feared for your life and you knew the suspect was armed, why not call for backup, right? You got to be cautious about going after somebody that you truly believe is armed. And then secondly, you heard the number of rounds that were discharged. Do you all ever think to yourselves that sometimes you might end up hitting someone else that's innocent and has nothing to do with this? This is reckless, this is dangerous, and ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to encourage all of you out there to do not buy into the spin these folks are trying to pull. They know what they did, and they're already trying to cover it up. We've seen it in every single incident like this. Shame. Shame on Donald Trump.
What is going on? We've already pled the fifth. Is he not violating his fifth? I mean, what's going on? You guys, there is no pleading the fifth?
To dispel our suspicions.
Wait, there is no pleading the fifth?
You're not
Say it again one more time, sir. Smile while you say it. There is no pleading the fifth. Please say it. I want you to say it.
You don't have to talk to us.
Are you gonna say it? Okay, good. Thank you very much, sir. You guys have a good rest of your day, man. Thank you for what you do. I appreciate it. This is why we need those masks off, sir. He could very easily do the same thing with his mask on. We don't yet. And then I'll say who did it. I appreciate you guys trying, and I appreciate you guys just trying to keep it safe, but this is bullshit, man. I appreciate
So
you
if we
guys.
run him and he's not a criminal, have a good day.
But I see, that's where you're lying, man. That's disrespectful, bro. I see what you guys do at work sites. Why are you guys lying to me? Like, straight up to my, that's disrespectful, man.
Listen, man,
I appreciate you again. I will repeat. I appreciate you going after criminals and on your list and doing what you need to do. But what I don't appreciate is this. Just don't lie to me, man. That's all. I appreciate, again, you showing your face. That's fine. I appreciate that. You don't need to.
Everybody.
You don't need
I can only
to.
speak for myself. I'm not out here scraping the bottom of the barrel. I'm looking to get criminals off.
That's awesome, man. I appreciate you because I'm able to say, hey, this guy was a douchebag, this guy, and I know who you are. I have if you were to have hit me, I know who it was. I had a guy pull out a knife on me on the side of the road the other day.
If I continually see you following us, interfering with us, honking your horn, blocking our cars, you have a very high probability of making a really bad decision and being arrested today, okay? I'm not.
The right decision.
Oh, then why are you giving her a warning?
I'm giving her a warning to not interfere with what we're doing, to not make a bad decision today and ruin your life.
Oh, bad
Okay,
decisions.
thank
That's
you.
funny coming from you.
Okay, alrighty. Thank you. Have a good day.
I hope you have a terrible day.
Okay, thank you. Just so you know, if we continue to have you follow us, okay. Have fun. Don't make a bad decision today.
What is illegal is stopping people unconstitutionally.
Don't interfere.
I saw evidence this morning that my own government tried to hide from me because someone in Canada recorded that 60 Minutes episode on their phone and put it on social media. And I wanted to take this moment to say thank you to you in Canada who did that for us, and to our allies all around the world who have not given up on us. We understand that our country, the leaders that are in charge right now, have been terrible friends and allies. We understand that they have destroyed so much of what we have built over decades with our allies. But I also want you to know there are very, very many of us who remember what it means to be a friend and an ally. And you guys are showing us that in the ways you are helping us to resist. There will come a time when we will be back. There will come a time when we will get control of our government and we will remember our friends and allies. And for those of you who haven't forgot us now, even in this moment when America has become not only not a friend and ally, but an active threat to so much of the world, and you are still standing by us, thank you. It is incredibly difficult for those of us who believed and still believe in what America stood for. For those of us who said those words and meant them when we said, send us your tired, your poor, your huddled masses yearning to breathe free. That's who we are as Americans. And although we are not living up to who we are right now, that idea is not dead. And there will come a time when we will stand shoulder to shoulder with you guys again. And for those of you who know, there are very many of us who are opposing this regime and doing everything big and small that we can to reclaim our country. Thank you for not turning your back on us. We know you have to protect yourselves from our government just as we are. But just know, the vast majority of Americans, we remember our friends and allies, and we cannot wait to celebrate the day that we stand shoulder to shoulder with you again. With all the love in our hearts, go love your neighbor.
So by now everybody has seen the second execution murder in Minneapolis regarding Alex, a RN who was concealed carry, never brought his weapon out once. And we watched a ICE agent take it out of his holster and run away with it. The guy in the gray jacket and the gray hat. All while we mag dumped on our own citizen. So, you know, Tim, I don't know what the fuck we're doing. I get it. You're up to your neck in some major shit right now. But maybe it's time to deputize some citizens that are willing to do the work and has a nice little arsenal behind them and are willing to stick their necks out to get this job done. So, where's my people with the Second Amendment? Huh? Where's all the people that voted for the vote for the Second Amendment in case, you know, they go rogue? They've gone rogue.
Our children are in trauma. A 5-year-old. You saw the picture, the bunny hat and the Spider-Man.
What's the National Guard doing right now? So we have, we have been on state active duty for over a week. So we've had soldiers prepared in the metro area to respond in a much rapid manner than if they were not mobilized. So we have a request from the Hennepin County Sheriff to support them, and that is to help them free up additional resources for other work that they need to do. And we have started coordinating with them this morning on that, and that first area of support will be assisting them with their requirement to provide security to the Whipple building. So we'll be helping them there. And then we are in parallel planning with other organizations within the state of Minnesota to include the State Patrol, the Minnesota DNR, and other local agencies to render assistance if requested. I would say that the number that we have is adequate for the requests that we have right now. And I will also tell you that we are bringing more resources that will be able to respond in a timely manner that are not fully mobilized.
Fuck y'all. Let everyone fuck y'all. Let everyone say
I am onto something really big right now with the Epstein case. Like shattering your entire perspective of this case.
Our children are in trauma. A 5-year-old. You saw the picture, the bunny hat and the Spider-Man.
What's the National Guard doing right now? So we have, we have been on state active duty for over a week. So we've had soldiers prepared in the metro area to respond in a much rapid manner than if they were not mobilized. So we have a request from the Hennepin County Sheriff to support them, and that is to help them free up additional resources for other work that they need to do. And we have started coordinating with them this morning on that, and that first area of support will be assisting them with their requirement to provide security to the Whipple building. So we'll be helping them there. And then we are in parallel planning with other organizations within the state of Minnesota to include the State Patrol, the Minnesota DNR, and other local agencies to render assistance if requested. I would say that the number that we have is adequate for the requests that we have right now. And I will also tell you that we are bringing more resources that will be able to respond in a timely manner that are not fully mobilized yet, but we are mobilizing more soldiers as we talk at this time. I'd like not to get into specific numbers for an operational security standpoint, but right now we have all the resources to meet the requests that we have.
I'm rejecting the rush to judgment within 15 minutes of this, which they did last time. That's why you need to have a fair investigation. And that's why a video can show one thing, but what happened beforehand. But they already will slander this individual. They've already made this the case. And I will just say you will all start to see it, and some of you probably have. There's multiple angles of this. But what I see with my eyes and what you're going to see with your eyes makes that pretty hard to believe. And I would imagine as a federal officer, they would have come out and sounded like these professionals sound and say, we need to gather the information, we need to gather all the facts, we need to put them forward, and then we can make some informed decision based on the fact. America, as you're listening, enough is enough. Enough is enough of this. End this. End this. And we see them moving to Maine. If you're in Boston, you're in Chicago, you're in Philly, you're in Miami, it doesn't matter. Our children are in trauma. A 5-year-old. You saw the picture, the bunny hat and the Spider-Man. Is there not like some narrative to throw around, to parade around in some coat you had made and act like you're a tough guy or whatever? These are people's lives, and we have rule of law.
State and local law enforcement are always ready and willing and able to arrest violent offenders. We do not stand down from that, no matter where we get that information from. If there are violent offenders or violent criminals or violent crimes, we will investigate and we'll bring those to justice. If the federal government would like to work with us, to continue to work with us as they have in the past, to locate those violent offenders, we are always open to those discussions and always willing to assist. We do not ignore that. We are ready and able, and we do that. All of you as part of the media hear us arresting violent offenders all the time. We have not stood down. That is our mission. The federal government is not alone in arresting violent offenders. State and local law enforcement does that every day at great risk to their life, at great risk to the community. We do it because we want a safe Minnesota, and the federal government is not the only one to do that.
So 2 days ago, the administration said that they would...
Right here on the ground in Minneapolis, we are seeing Minnesota State Patrol working alongside Minneapolis Police Department. This is just one area we're seeing high tensions in the city after we know an individual died in an altercation with federal authorities earlier. At this exact intersection, we do not see any federal agents. They were here earlier. It seems like they have moved out, and this section of the city has just started to be under the control of the ones in the vests that are Minnesota State Patrol and the ones in black, which are Minneapolis Police Department. That vehicle right there just moved in and is a SWAT vehicle. We're hearing a lot of shouting towards them.
It's like, you guys are like the Human Watch, you know? I mean, it's one big...
Describe what the environment is like out here right now.
The environment is, looks like at least 200 people in this immediate vicinity. Everyone is trying to figure out, it looks like, what's going on.
What brings you out here?
Okay. I'm just a regular guy that's been watching this on TV, and I want to be a part of showing people, not just here, supporting people protesting, but showing people everywhere that this is just unprecedented and a horrible, just a terrible thing that we all have to have a voice in trying to solve this.
It's going to be really interesting to watch the Blue Lives Matter crowd defend ICE on this one, because right now, police chiefs in Minnesota are publicly raising alarms about ICE's conduct, saying that they've received multiple complaints of people being stopped and questioned based on how...
Right here on the ground in Minneapolis, we are seeing Minnesota State Patrol working alongside Minneapolis Police Department. This is just one area we're seeing high tensions. And
it's going to be really interesting to watch the Blue Lives Matter crowd defend ICE on this one, because right now, police chiefs in Minnesota are publicly raising alarms about ICE's conduct, saying that they've received multiple complaints of people being stopped and questioned based on how they look. And this includes U.S. citizens, off-duty law enforcement officers of color. Local police leaders are saying this kind of behavior undermines trust, crosses civil rights lines, and puts everyone at risk, including their own officers. So if you claim to support law and order, but you ignore actual law enforcement when they say a federal agency is racial profiling people, then this was never about backing the badge. It was about who you think belongs here. Take a look.
As the last 2 weeks, we as law enforcement community have been receiving endless complaints about civil rights violations in our streets from U.S. citizens. What we're hearing is they're being stopped in traffic stops or on the street with no cause and being forced to demand paperwork to determine if they are here legally. As this went on over the past 2 weeks, we started hearing from our police officers the same complaints as they fell victim to this while off duty. Every one of these individuals is a person of color who has had this happen to them. In Brooklyn Park, one particular officer that shared her story with me was stopped as she passed ICE going down the roadway. When they boxed her in, they demanded her paperwork, of which she's a U.S. citizen and clearly would not have any paperwork. When she became concerned about the rhetoric and the way she was being treated, she pulled out her phone. In an attempt to record the incident, the phone was knocked out of her hands, prevented her from recording it. The officer had their guns drawn during this interaction. And after the officer became so concerned, they were forced to identify themselves as a Brooklyn Park police officer in hopes of slowing the incident and de-escalating the incident down. The agents then immediately left after hearing this, making no other comments, no other apologies, just got in their vehicles and left. I wish I could tell you that this was an isolated incident. In fact, many of the chiefs standing behind me have similar incidents with their off-duty officers. This isn't just important because it happened to off-duty police officers, but what it did do is we know that our officers know what the Constitution is, they know what right and wrong is, and they know when people are being targeted, and that's what they were. If it is happening to our officers, it pains me to think of how many of our community members are falling victim to this every day. It has to stop. This behavior erodes the trust that these police chiefs have worked tirelessly for the last 5 years and theoretically the last 60 years to stop this exact behavior from happening. Now, I want to be really clear. I've called lots of other ICE agents and HSI agents and have talked to a lot of individuals about this. This is not widespread. This is a small group of agents within the surge in the metro area that are performing or acting this way. As a matter of fact, as rumors of this had spread, I've received phone calls from ICE agents and HSI agents indicating this is not how they act, this is not what they do. Regardless, we're calling to action that we have more supervision over the surge, that this type of civil rights violations have to stop.
I'm going to show you why you should ditch your phone plan and get Telomobile instead, because you are going to save so much money and you're definitely going to thank me after this video. So you got your 5G, 4G LTE. They are super flexible with.
I read that the 37-year-old man who lost his life today for holding a cell